Hello, and welcome back to Asian Pulse. I'm your host, Shivani Naiker. We are broadcasting from the unceded traditional territories of the Kwantlen, Silvertooth, and Squamish nations. The month of September is known as Prostate Cancer Awareness Month. Did you know? Each year, 34,000 men die with prostate cancer. This can be prevented by getting a PSA test done every so often. School is back in full force. With that, kids will be crossing the sidewalks and mark crosswalks. Make sure to slow down as the police will be out in full force to write your tickets and speeding in the school zones. September is also known as Distracted Driving Awareness Month. Police alongside ICBC will be out in full force to stop drivers who are distracted while driving, texting, talking on the phone, putting on makeup, or eating while driving. Distracted drivers is the second largest road accident after speeding. They will give up to tickets of $369 plus 4 different points on your driving license. We'll be right back from these words from our sponsors.
I understand how important it is to have a place called home, and it's frustrating using your hard-earned money on rent. Vic Prasad can make you a homeowner. Get pre-approved services provided to first-time buyers and new immigrants. You can qualify for mortgage even if you have bad credit. Call Vic Prasad now on 604-306-6647. Vic Prasad is associated with Craft Mortgages Canada Incorporated. I understand how important it is to have a place called home, and it's frustrating using your hard-earned money on rent. Vic Prasad can make you a homeowner. Get pre-approved services provided to first-time buyers and new immigrants. You can qualify for mortgage even if you have bad credit. Call Vic Prasad now on 604-306-6647. Vic Prasad is associated with Craft Mortgages.
For astrology service, life horoscope, and fortune telling, marriage problem, love problem, divorce problem, money problem, personal or business, all types of puja and havan. Call Pandit Lakshminath Guruji 1604-849-4872, serving Alberta and BC.
Arvind's Curry and Cocktail, Indian cuisine. They do catering for all occasions and they do free delivery. Please call 604-515-1070. Address is 420 6th Street, New Westminster. Open 7 days a week from 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. For deliveries, call 604-515-1070 or arvindscurry.com.
Thank you. If you would like to highlight your business on our show, email us at asianpulse@gmail.com. Now, we have Annie Ohana, a teacher from LA Matheson High School, who is here to talk about children returning to the school year and what shall we know. Have a look.
Hello and welcome to Asian Pulse. Before we start the show, we want to acknowledge the land that we are broadcasting from, which is Kwantlen, Silvertooth, and Musqueam Nation. Having said that, I have my guest back in the studio, and as we all know, opening the school opening is just around the corner. So I got Annie Ohana, teacher at LA Madison, and she is here to give her perspective of what you as a parent or as a student should be looking for, watching for, and the school is going to be opening soon. So that's a conversation we're going to have. And thank you for watching Asian Pulse. So thank you so much for coming in such a short notice. How are you? How was your summer?
Yeah, good summer, right? Little things here and there, but a chance to relax and kind of decompress from what was a very difficult school year. Yeah.
And also, I also haven't seen you that you have been very actively involved with not just teaching in the classroom, but the political side of it. I mean, the executive side of it. Yeah. You have been attending conferences, negotiating maybe so much, because as we all know, BCGU is, I don't know, they are not in full-fledged strike, but they are negotiating their contract, and everybody should be doing that.
Absolutely.
And I think as well as the teachers haven't had their contract.
Yes, that's right. And I'm not officially on the bargaining teams or anything, but I'm a local representative, so we represent our members in Surrey. And unfortunately, we don't have a contract. Our contract ended June 30th, and we hadn't come to an agreement. So the latest update is that we're scheduled to meet again with the government in September, late September. We did have some days just a couple of weeks ago now with the government. And just like BCGEU as they're on strike. The reality is a lot of workers are not, like their salaries are actually being pushed down. What's being offered is less. So we're falling behind. And that's because of something called COLA, the cost of living adjustment, because of inflation, because of how expensive, we all know this, how expensive things are. Our salaries don't go as far. And so, some people might think, oh, the unions and BCGEU, so like the alcohol distribution centers are being picketed. Unfortunately, it affects everybody. We all know our dollar does not go far enough. And from a teacher's perspective, you think about COVID, being frontline workers, we work very hard. And so the idea that somehow we'd get less money in such a not dangerous time, but nonetheless like a hard time to make ends meet. That's why we're not there yet. We really do want to see an agreement that allows our teachers to be, fairly compensated for what they do and not fall behind in terms of, buying groceries and taking care of your family and doing the basics. And that applies to all workers, I have to say. So union or not, everybody should be getting a fair living wage for what they do.
Even ahead from the teachers, they just graduated.
Yeah.
They have gone to school for about a year and a half graduation. And they said, well, looking at the salary of the teachers, they don't know it's not really worth it. I can be exactly what somebody, I can get paid more. And there is a COLA, cost of living allowance. And if the government who's been sitting in Victoria and not working anything, if they can have their COLA during the pandemic, and you, me, everybody, the gas price, the milk price, the meat, the vegetables, everything has gone up so much. So I respect the people, and I think all should be screaming out, asking for that money, because with people, parents, we are struggling from one job to another just to put the food on the table. And that's why they have started this, $20 put a pack of groceries for the students for the weekend that are not being in school. Maybe some schools, they have lunches and breakfast. But what happens over the weekend? So I totally support that they got to dig some money out and be able to treat everybody or pay everybody fairly.
It is an investment. We're short on teachers, we're short on doctors, we're short on everybody. And part of that is salary. I think you're very right. And so if people cannot even afford to pay rent, a lot of younger teachers have second jobs. We don't get paid over our breaks. People I think are maybe not aware of that. We don't get paid overtime either. I'm not saying we should, but at the same time, there's a lot of time and effort and our own money that goes into this. So for the government to give themselves that pay increase, okay, fine. What about the rest of us? And we have the right to bargain. We have the right to strike as well, right? If things don't go our way, it's something. Don't go our way. If we can't reach an agreement, I'm not saying we will. I'm just saying that this is a right in Canada that workers can say to their management, we're not happy with this, and we will take action. But we have another date to come, other dates to come, and hopefully we'll, they know our side. We're certainly putting our messaging out there, and really it is about that COLA. We're not, we are the second lowest paid teachers in all of Canada, and yet we're literally the most expensive place to live in Canada. So it's, we're seeing the gap grow and grow, and you are going to see more teachers leaving the profession. We already see it. It's overwhelming, the mental health issues that are there. So a lot of people say, I can either be a scientist or teach science. And maybe working for a company that does scientific related work is going to get me more money than, not just more money, but the idea of like,
private sector.
I can save. I can actually do the bare minimum rather than, as much as you might love kids, that reality of what it means to be a teacher. And it applies to many other professions, obviously.
Or be able to pay the rent.
Yes,
the rent.
I know, exactly.
Not being able to kick out.
And these are larger issues. I love what you said. Absolutely. Parents and families and older students, we need to be talking about it. We need to be pushing our government. We shouldn't wait for a strike and then go, oh my God, now my life is affected. A strike or a contract won't solve everything. Why are rents so expensive? Why is there a lack of housing? Like, these are larger issues that have nothing to do with a union, right? So I really encourage, we have an election coming up. vote in those elections, do your homework, go talk to your MLAs. They're all having their barbecues right now. Actually go do that work, because you do deserve better. And we don't have all the money in the world, but priorities should, there are priorities that we need to make sure our government upholds.
And let's get back to the classroom, the back to school.
Yes, yeah.
So, what is happening? Is the school going to be opening as scheduled? That's one thing.
Yes.
And secondly, the parents, the kids, because this may be the good time, or they should have done 2 weeks ago, or maybe 3 weeks ago. That kids have been playing, staying up late, with beautiful weather and all that. So now is the time for the parents and for the kids, both of them, to be able to reprogram their mind ahead. So when to go to bed and when to get up, so they still can have 7 or 8 hours of sleep. So they are not falling asleep during
Yes, I 100% agree. I think teachers have to do the same as well, right? I think this coming week is going to be I got to get up early again, right? I got to get to my schedule. So public school, it depends on the districts, obviously, but for Surrey, September 6th is the day that we begin. Those are usually much shorter days. Maybe it's an assembly, whatever. Every school does its own thing. But I highly recommend that, start to kind of, go to bed a little earlier, put that alarm clock on, get used to it again. And I would say even for students, it can be very anxiety-filled time because you're going back to school. We are, unless something changes, going back to what we would call a normal schedule. So it's not like COVID times, like we're going back to kind of normalcy. So just be prepared for that. So at the high school level, you will have multiple classes a day. Kind of, goal plan, right? What's your goal, right? What do you want to achieve this year? And I don't mean straight A's. I mean, okay, like what are good work habits, right? What are setting, time aside to study? Make a list for yourself, and parents to have that discussion in a positive way is really important to do, right? We're looking at, the COVID guidelines have come out, and basically, they're still following certain protocol, but there is no mask mandate. But I would say, I think quite a few teachers are going to be wearing our masks. I can speak for our experience that we still see a lot of COVID in the community. There's a lot of multi-generational families. A lot of us have been away doing things. So coming back, health first, safety first, right? And I hope people can see the value of, think about it like a community. We're a family. Your school is a family. And so we do have people that are immunocompromised. We do have people with long-term COVID. There's a lot of things going on. And it does help quite a bit if you mask up. It's not going to be a rule. For sure. And just like no judgment. That's where some people were concerned, right? People were saying, take your mask off, or why are you wearing your mask? As a teacher, I would say we don't want that kind of conversation to happen. Perhaps it's a conversation about health. That's fine, right? If somebody cannot wear a mask because of a certain reason, but it's not going to be mandated. So that's one thing. But I highly encourage, and schools will have masks. The government has said they will be providing masks. I would still say people should be pushing for ventilation improvements, filtration, HEPA filters. Like there's still a lot of work to be done. And the government response, some feel, is not adequate for where we are right now in the pandemic. We have flu and cold season coming. We have these variants, BA5, that are quite, like you said, people with boosters are still getting COVID. So that tells you like the strength of the virus. It is airborne. So nothing has changed on that end. And a lot of people aren't reporting. So the numbers are a little bit, they're not where they actually are. So just be mindful, take care of yourself, stay home if you're sick, or if you have any symptoms, better to stay home. You'll be fine, right? Just call the school, excuse yourself. And if you excuse yourself, then the teachers can help. I think the one thing I would say to many students is don't just stay home and then we don't know why you're home or what's going on. Letting the teacher know, getting your parent to call the office is really important so that we know you're excused and that you might be sick, whatever, and there's a reason.
A lot of the kids gonna be going to a new school maybe, and some of them gonna be going to a new classroom and all that. And I think it's a responsibility of the parents. I mean, children are anxiety. They are anxiety full of different people or kids in the classroom. Their friends have moved on or moved out of the city or what have you. New kids gonna be coming. But it's very, very important for parents to have that face-to-face connection with the teacher, because that teacher will be teaching your children.
Yes.
And your kid will be in the hands of the teacher for 6-7 hours.
Yeah.
So I think it's very important that you are comfortable and ask us. There's no question.
Yeah.
Stupid, they say. There is no question such as that.
Yeah.
Any question you can ask to
Absolutely.
make sure that you are confident in yourself and you are making your child be more relaxed during that physical year.
100%. Yeah, I encourage parents, if they can, to join a PAC, right?
Yeah.
Parent Advisory Committee. That's a great way to know what's going on in the school.
Mm-hmm.
Try to make it out to a sporting event or two, right? Or if a school has an event going on, a family night, right? Parent-teacher night is very important. Those things should be coming back now, right? Like in full mode. I don't know about hybrid yet. I'm not sure, right? Because I know some parents like that in terms of they weren't able to drive to the school, but a phone call might have worked better for them. I know money is tight, right? So we know how hard that is, but putting that child first and communicating with teachers and getting to know your school. Your school can provide so many amazing opportunities for your kids. So keeping in touch that way is great. And I always say, like, if you're comfortable with a teacher and your child doesn't have that teacher that year, it's okay to still communicate with that teacher and just say, hey, by the way, like, what do you know about this or that? It's okay to do that. Obviously, best to speak to your child's teacher, but we're all a community and we can help any parent with any issues they might be having or questions.
So how do you prepare the child going back to school? Because with mask or no mask, that's one thing. If something gets worse, then probably they might bring that back. But that is in future to wait for. But for right now, as we're speaking in next week or whatever, you just go. But if you have issues, there is no harm taking a mask. Or like you say, the school is providing masks.
Yeah, I highly encourage everybody. We should all still have masks. I know I still have some. Keep that mask with you because we really don't know. And you're right? So we'll see. But it's always good to have that, extra mask on you. The office will have the mask, is my understanding. And I would say just already, so at the high school level, counselors are already working on schedules. So sometimes, especially the senior grades where you need to graduate, you need a specific course, they are making those changes. So don't wait till the start of the school year where the lineup's like 100 kids. Try to get in touch now. Again, Teams. I know LA Mass Counseling has an Instagram account. I know a lot of schools do that now. Calling the school. There are multiple ways, right? Calling your vice principal who could help as well. They are back at work, essentially, because they know that if they wait for September 6th, it's going to be so very difficult. But give it time. It's okay. We're not diving in head first, right? If it takes a week or 2 weeks to kind of get settled in, that's okay. Especially for those entering high school or those getting into grade 7, right? Like whatever level, kindergarten, it can be an adjustment and that's okay. Teachers know this. We're going to be adjusting as well. New kids. Yeah. Trying to get back to normal, right? There's so many things happening. It's always kind of a steep learning curve a little bit.
So you are back in the school at least a week or 2 weeks before the opening.
So not everybody, but the schools, the secretaries are at work. They're amazing. Our schools would not be open without our secretaries and clerks. I kid you not. I'm like, we'd all be crying, if they weren't there. We just couldn't do it. Vice principals are meeting, getting back together. I saw it. The LAM counseling said, get in touch through Teams and, but not everybody. Like, it's not just because you just don't want to take the course. It's very specific to senior grades that if you're very worried about you don't have the science credit or socials credit, whatever it is, you need to graduate, they want to fix that right now. Waiting too long can be problematic. So, we still have a week, I have to say. I don't want to cause too much anxiety. Enjoy, right? Get that sleep, right? Enjoy. But also be mindful. Be mindful that school is coming and that we're in this together, right? We want everybody to succeed and school should be a fun experience, a good experience, and let's keep each other safe at the end of the day, right? Yeah.
And I think every year when the kids go back to school, the parents go and spend so much money in the clothing and supplies and all that. But it's also good to go through the whatever from last year. Maybe there's certain things they haven't used last year, or they can, and maybe they can do the shopping in November, December, whatever. If that can last for a little bit. You are stretching your dollars at the same time. you are helping your parents,
Yeah.
the kids too. It's
Yeah.
not like everybody has to have a new
No.
backpack
No.
or new shoes or new gym shorts or new top to go to school.
It creates anxiety.
Nobody knows what
Yeah.
you are wearing
Oh,
last week.
absolutely. And that's such a good thing to say, because I feel like that's actually a lot of pressure on kids.
Yeah.
There's even bullying around that, and that
Yes.
idea of like, oh, you have this, you have that. And the best thing we can do is really think, well, do I need it, right?
Yeah.
Because I don't know, I feel bad for certain kids that families can't afford that, and so it gets difficult. Also, I know some elementary schools you get a list, which is great, then you know. But secondary, until you meet the teacher, every teacher is kind of different. You don't quite know what you need yet.
Yeah.
Obviously, maybe a binder, some writing utensils, some paper. Always a good move to have for like the first week. But essentially, don't go out and buy a ton of things that maybe you might not need at the end. So just on those first couple days, especially at the high school level, teachers will be telling students what they need. So no need to go out and buy all these things. And yeah, just I think it's good to teach kids the idea of the value of money.
Yeah.
And if you can make something stretch, why not? And the brand name on your clothing doesn't matter. It doesn't make you a better person, better student. It actually creates a little bit of that difficulty for some students that just feel, I don't have anything new. Also, many schools do have backpacks and supplies that they can give to those in need. No questions asked.
Yeah.
Your name doesn't go on some list somewhere.
Yeah.
I know we have a full area that has so many things.
Yeah.
And so please look into that if a parent needs that. Not a problem, right? We're a family, and it's not a problem to ask through a youth care worker, anybody really, a teacher, VP. I need help with this, right? School fees, even though you have to pay the school fee, is not mandatory. You can ask for a waiver. So you can say, well, I can't afford the $20. That's okay. The VP usually can sign a waiver. You still get access to everything. So just that's very, field trips, all that kind of thing. Always communicate with your teachers, your vice principals, because just because there's a money amount on it doesn't mean that you are forced to pay that. We understand that's for some families that $20, $15, $5, whatever, might not be doable.
Anyhow, the last word, advice.
Enjoy the last week. The weather's been great.
Yes.
Really bring that summer to a positive close. And it's okay. One day at a time.
Yeah.
One day at a time. And I really look forward to seeing all of our new kids, our old students returning. And let's just make this a really good year and support each other. And reach out. Don't be afraid to ask any questions you might have.
Yeah. Even if the kid is asking, parents, when they don't have no answer.
Yes.
As a parent, you are an adult. We are an adult. We can pick up the phone and talk to somebody in the school.
Exactly.
Do it for your children.
Yeah.
So they will have less anxiety the first or second day or the first week in the school, what to take and what time to be there. Because they are small hours or shorter hours for the first week. Thank you so
Not
much,
a problem.
Annie Abel.
Not a problem.
Yeah.
Thank
We shall do this again.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Annie. Have a pen and paper ready because we have some interesting events that you might be interested in. Canada/USA CALSA Ex-Student Reunion is taking place at Bollywood Banquet Hall in Surrey on October 1st at 5 p.m. For more information, call 604-537-5123. Tickets are $40 per person and all proceeds will be going to the CALSA College in Baw, Fiji Islands. Pick Society is celebrating its 35th anniversary on September 16th at 6 p.m. at Reflections Banquet and Conference Centre in Surrey. All proceeds from this will go towards the Guru Nanak Diversity Village. For more information and for tickets, contact Pix at 604-596-7722. 11th Annual Musadi Begum Indian Classical Music Festival is happening on September 24th at 6 p.m. at Massey Theatre in New Westminster. For tickets, please call Massey Theatre or visit the website at www.masseytheatre/11 Musadi Begum Festival. Open house on September 15th to 17th from 1 to 6. Learn more about the Chartwell experiences at their open house. Drop in, look around, and ask for questions about living in the Chartwell Imperial Place. Address is 13853 102 Avenue in Surrey. For more information, call 778-735-0541. Sahas Community Service Society provides a helpline for people who are in crisis and need to talk to someone. They offer critical support information and resources for individuals and families in need. The number is 604-900-9221. Everything is kept confidential. The Canadian Federation of Fiji Organization is hosting their second annual Community Awards Gala on September 16th at Kanda Banquet Hall. For more information and tickets, contact Shannon Permal at 778-709-2853 or email us at info.cfofo@gmail.com. CIBC The Run for Cure is back on October 2nd. Join in person for a walk or run at Surrey Athletic Park, 14600 20th Avenue in Surrey. 1 out of 8 women will develop breast cancer in their life. Join them and donate money for the great cause. If you have any events that you would like to promote on our show, email us at asianpulse@gmail.com. We have run out of time. I hope you enjoy the show as much as I did bringing it to you. If you'd like to be a sponsor or to promote any event on our show, contact Camilla Singh at 604-537-5123 or email us at asianpulse@gmail.com. Before I go, I leave you with these thoughts. Sometimes no matter how nice you are, how kind you are, how cringe you are, how loving you are, it's not enough for some people. Author unknown. If you missed our show, you can watch it again at Thursdays at 8:30, Saturdays at 5:30, and on Channel 4 and Channel 10 in Calgary. Thank you for spending the part of the day with us. I'm your host, Shivani Naiker. Stay safe and stay healthy, and see you all next week.